Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, and team members, welcome back to the Podocasts. Give it up. Give it up. Today's thumbnail is pure satire. I talked to two different graphics experts, and they said I have to have my image on said thumbnail to be successful in the YouTube. So there, that's my image on the thumbnail. I have no doubt that it will be wildly successful, clearly tongue-in-cheek. We had a very fun live stream last night. It went long, and I don't think we got to all of the questions. If we missed yours, I apologize. I kept piling on the questions for Emery, and I was taking up viewer time, but I thought they were good ads. I hope those who joined us got some value from the stream. It's sort of a tepid market this morning, with so many pumps and dumps over the weekend, and you know what, even yesterday. I think most folks seem to be standoffish in their investing, and I certainly understand that. I really have no feel for it today. Most of the market is interlinked, even if they don't seem to be on the surface, and one token running away can easily trigger several more events. It creates a feeding frenzy and opens up the amount of risk folks are willing to tolerate. I'm just not seeing that this morning, as we seem to be in a holding pattern, I don't know, waiting for a breakout. Smart investing is about more than just making money. It is also about protecting your money when there is no real profit to be made. It's about having the capital available when you need to make moves and taking what the market will give you. If it won't give you anything, don't give it anything. That's all I'm saying. Don't blindly throw your money into a token because you happen to have it and you don't want it festering. If it's sitting liquid, it might not be gaining, but it also isn't losing. I know folks don't particularly care for this school of thought, but even the best markets are flat sometimes, and no matter how much you might want it, if there is nothing to be had, there's nothing to be had. What can you do? I personally believe some of the standoffishness. Is that even a word? Standoffishness. You know what? If it's not, I think the meaning's pretty clear. Some of the hesitancy is being caused by the legacy futures contracts and seeing what is going to happen. Nobody knows yet that this is a brand new element into the crypto world, and markets like certainty and stability. I don't know what these are going to do to it yet, so I'm kind of in a holding pattern. And when I'm in a holding pattern on trades, I tend to fall back to AMP for discussion because I am a big AMP fan, but also because I want to see a token in a holding pattern for a reason. Now, I dedicated the monologue to the AMP last night, but I don't think it's out of the scope to talk about it a bit more. I equated AMP to Blockbuster Video, and I believe it to be a fair comparison. Anyone my age knows Blockbuster and remembers when they were everywhere, literally everywhere. You could find a Blockbuster Video in a Blockbuster Video. People were stepping over themselves to buy one of the franchises. It was like the heyday of Starbucks. They absolutely boomed because, like it or not, supply and demand is a reality. When the demand is high, supply will be provided by entrepreneurs who want to capitalize on it. This has been fairly true throughout the history of mankind. If there is a demand for a product, any product, a supply will show up. As the supply exceeds the demand, the price will fall, late suppliers will go belly up, and the market will stabilize. There's not a lot of people renting VCR tapes or DVDs these days, and I don't think I could sell anyone in the world a Blockbuster brick and mortar store unless it was open satirically. As a retro kind of guy, I would probably go in just to see the Turner and Hooch tape on the shelf, but I would never expect the business to be profitable in any meaningful way. Right now, AMP is Blockbuster. Like it or not, believe it or not, it is a supply that is being created for effectively no demand at this time. In 2 years, 5 years, the demand will increase, and I absolutely expect it to. But at this time, right now, It just isn't there, and I would not expect the price to move much. AMP's very own white paper, page 9, page 8 or 9, states clearly that AMP's value is determined by usage, and it's not getting used. That's it. It occasionally happens in the States in a hold my beer, watch this sort of manner at Dunkin' Donuts, but there is no meaningful volume occurring that will move the needle. You can wish it, you can want it, but you can't make it. The only thing that will make it is a fundamental shift from fiat to digital, and it's not time yet. Now, all of this is predicated that Flexa stays solely in the crypto processing space and nobody builds on AMP with a legacy-facing product. I am of the opinion that exactly that scenario will play out for us before long, and that's what will set it off. Talked about it months ago. The thing that sets AMP off and creates a demand for the product will be legacy world-facing builds or fiat transactions, and I stick to that. Digital demand is years away and will be an international effort to get it off the ground. But even with the ideal scenario, Ukraine comes on board and uses Flexa, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela. Even if the stars line up, it is still a many years process before the citizenry of those countries are comfortable enough using crypto to use it meaningfully. It's going to take time, and the longer this drags out, the more likely it is that Flex and AMP are to be scooped up or made irrelevant. Demand breeds competition, and as the demand for digital processing increases, so too will the competition. For AMP to really soar, it will need to cause a major nut punch to the financial sector, and I feel that is more likely to occur in fiat than digital. Now, it's just my opinion. All right, your mileage may vary, and what Flexa says and what Flexa does tend to be at odds with each other lately, so I would not be surprised to see the announcement from them that they are integrating legacy financial apps onto the network. I'm just saying. It's not a long one today, folks. I'm sort of talked out from last night and hope this gave you some food for thought. That's why we do it. I am still firmly in the AMP camp, and as long as I can continue to buy it with other people's money, I am more than content to wait it out and see which way it goes. If you are still buying AMP with your own capital, please see any of our other videos. AMP is a solid token, but it's a sleepy token. Let your money work for you. Live stream this Thursday, and as it is the Halloween season, we will all probably be in costume again to share some goodwill and make it a bit more entertaining. As always, 1900 Central. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. Cheers.